Hello, YouTube. This is it. Thank you very much for all of your support. We blasted through our 500 subscriber goal. I really appreciate all of your support. Now it's my turn to deliver back. We passed it, so now it's time to go through this. This is a Pelican 1550. I'm saying it's my most expensive. I have another one that's holding a lot of great knives. I have four Pelican cases, three 1550s and one 1600. The big 1600 has all Spidicles in it and a lot of my classic Spidicles. One 1550 has all Spidicles, and what it is family of Spidicles. So it has all of my Enduras, all of my Delicas, all of my Manics, all together, the old ones as well as the new ones. The third one has all of my Browse Blades, Striders, Hinderers, all of my other assorted knives that don't really get categorized into the big group of knives that I have. And then this one right here has 48 Chris Reeve knives. That's all of these are Chris Reeve knives. I pack them in because I want some space left over for more buys, like the large in Cosi that he just announced. Oh yeah, it's getting in here. He also announced 4 new wood knives. So at some point I'm going to buy those. So it includes everything. The large, the small, the Menundis, all of them are in here. We also have a lot of Spidicles. The newer Spidicles are in this case as well. If they're not part of a family, there are some that are part of a family, I put them here. And then these are all of the Microtech automatic out the fronts. And I'm going to include this one that's too big to go into the case, but it also has a Microtech out the front. This will probably take a couple of passes. I'm thinking 3, 4, or 5 different ones. The big challenge is for me not to do what I usually do and lose concentration. So I'm going to try to hit a happy medium, which means pull them out, announce them. Of course, we're going to go, this first video is going to be all Chris Reeve knives. Probably not even make it through it. We'll probably do 2 just to get through the 48 Chris Reeve knives. I'm going to hold it up. We're going to play with them like I usually do, but it's going to be quick. Announce it and put it back. Go to the next one, okay? I hope it all works. The great thing is we're doing Chris Reeve knives, so the blades don't change that often. So we'll be able to just show you and talk about it, okay? Let's get started. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited myself. So let's do this. The first one is the first Umnumzun that I ever purchased. You can tell that it was one of my first because I got rid of the lanyard. I have it. I just clipped it off because they wouldn't fit in my storage. This is the Umnumzun. It's a little bigger than a 3.6 inch blade. Umnumzun is Zulu for the boss, and it really is the boss. This is what we would call the plain Jane Umnumzun. All tie, S35 VN steel. The Umnumzun. My first Umnumzun that I ever purchased. This is also an Umnumzun. The difference is, and you could almost tell by the colorful lanyard and the bead, this is the Tanto version of the Umnumzun. This can only be made, it's an exclusive with True North Knives. They worked with Chris Reeve to put together all of the Tanto Chris Reeve knives come from True North Knives. If you want one new, you have to go through them online. It's really wonderful. The Tanto has this really special lanyard, the gray lanyard, and a special bead. That's the Zone Tanto. Of course, S35V in steel. This, I could tell by how I put them in the case. This is my very first Chris Reeve knife. It's the large Chris Reeve Sebenza 21, and it's called Riddled. All large Chris Reeve 21s are 3.6 inches. All of the ones that I have S35V in steel or Damascus blades. Riddled, because it looks like it's been riddled by gunshots. I really love this. I had to get this because this was the only thing on Prime. I only knew how to buy knives from Amazon.com. This was on Prime. I ordered it on a Friday, got it on Saturday, and was thrilled to death. It is probably the smoothest because I've played with it since I started collecting Chris Reeve knives. I love it. I love that the holes go all the way through. So watch the blade. You can see that go in. So all these fancy custom makers that go, oh, we put holes in it. Chris Reeve has done it. This is a badass knife. It's just wonderful. Of course, all the Chris Reeve knives have his integral Chris Reeve frame lock. Of course, this is my very first Chris Reeve Sebenza 21 riddled. No lanyard. All my first Chris Reeves took the lanyards off. I think the first 4. This one is, oh, look how smooth that is. Oh my goodness. This is the only Chris Reeve large Sebenza 21 classic that I own. You see the classic? So, oh, look at that. So it went Chris Reeve Sebenza. That was the first one, 21. Then it was the Chris Reeve Sebenza Classic. And we're just thrilled with this. This is the very only Chris Reeve Classic that I have. This, man, I paid a lot for. And you know why? Because it has BG42 steel. Just a wonderful steel. That's before Chris Reeve met the folks from CPM and fell in love with first S30V and then S35V in steel. BG42, man, that's a blade. I love this. That is my only Chris Reeve classic. I really love that knife. All the rest of the knives from Chris Reeve that I collect are pretty much the newer ones, all with S35V in steel. Yes, this is the large Chris Reeve Sebenza 21 with the single blade, that little razor. In single is Zulu for razor. Zulu, of course, is Chris Reeve's South African native language. Still 3.6 inch blade, but it has that in single blade on it. Yes, I have 48 Chris Reeves, but they all have something just a little bit different, okay? I haven't doubled up on any of them. This one, there you go. This is the Chris Reeve large 21 plain Jane, but it has that combo blade. When I found these combo blades, I just fell in love with them. Look how sparse, look how wonderful the combo is. The serrated edge is just minimal. Then you have that good, generous plain edge. I just love it. It's perfect for EDC. Plain Jane, combo, Chris Reeve large, Sebenza 21. Next to that, yes, plain Jane, Sebenza 25. There you go. He celebrated his 25th anniversary in the knife making business and called it 25. Really nice. Again, I was talking about Chris Reeve. Whoa. I was talking about Chris Reeve, and it started as just Chris Reeve Sebenza. Then it was the Chris Reeve Classic. And then on his 25th anniversary, it was the Sebenza 21. On his 25th, it was Sebenza 25. This is just one of my favorites. Plain Jane, Sebenza, large Sebenza 21, but it has that wonderful Damascus, that ladder Damascus blade that just is beautiful. I love the combination of plain Jane and fancy pants blade. That is one of my favorite blades. Again, all 48 have a little bit difference to it. Here is the small Sebenza 21, with Micarta inlays. You can see the inlays. All of the inlay Chris Reeve knives have 3 strips, 2 on the front, 1 on the lock side. This is the small Sebenza 21 inlay with that combo blade. All of the small Sebenzas, 2.9 inches, just under that 3-inch blade size that a lot of U.S. places and a whole lot of international places don't allow knives at. This is the small Sebenza 21 Micarta inlaid knife with that plain S35VN steel blade. The combo is a S35VN steel blade too, but it's a combo blade. This, of course, is the plain blade. Let's hope I don't get cut going through these, going so fast. This is the large Sebenza 25 Micarta inlaid. Large Sebenza 25 Micarta inlaid. Yeah. You can see most of these, I didn't change this case, so most of them you'll see I put them in families. So as we go through these left to right, or right to left, I guess, you'll start to see the whole family of knives. This is the Sebenza 25 with the Micarta inlays. You can tell it's 25, the 2 choils, the hump profile of the knife, and that little notch right there as well. Oh man, I love the Micarta. It fills the hand so much. Those strips really help with handling and filling out the hand. Yeah, there's the large 21 Sebenza inlay with that combo blade. Again, as I told you, all 48 knives are different. I tried to get every variation that I could afford to get. There's still some out there, and I'm going to get them. But this is the large combo Sebenza 21 Micarta inlay. Look, it has no lanyard. You know what that means? This is the first large Sebenza 21 inlay that I got. It was in that first bunch, and guess what? It's a Tanto. I love Tanto blades. I love them. That means that it came from TrueNorthKnives.com. Again, the only place you can get any Tanto, no matter what flavor it is. If it's a Chris Reeve Sebenza or an Unumzun, it has to go through True North Knives. Told you, all kind of flavors. This was actually my very first Tanto Chris Reeve knife, and I really love it. Oh, I love it. I have to reach. This is kind of a different setup that we have here because I have the case on the table. All right, we're starting with the Sebenzas. Yep, this is the small Sebenza, small Sebenza 21. It's Sebenza because this is a collaboration between Chris Reeve and Wilson Tactical. You could tell by that starburst pattern. You see it on the scales, on that titanium scales. It's exclusive to Wilson Tactical. So you have to go to that website. It has a special lanyard, special bead that has Wilson Tactical and Chris Reeve on it. It's just a wonderful variation of the Chris Reeve Sebenza. That's the small Sebenza, small Sebenza. Here is the large Sebenza from Chris Reeve and Wilson Tactical. Of course, the blades are still S35VN. Everything else is the same. Same tolerances, same integral lock. Everything's the same. It's a Sebenza because it has that Wilson Tactical. That star pattern is the Wilson Tactical brand. And so, man, they must have spent a lot of money on that collaboration. You can only get them new from Wilson Tactical. Yep, had to get the whole family. These are Sebenzas. Come on. That's the Sebenza 25, of course, from Chris Reeve and Wilson Tactical. As you can see, the pattern is all through it. Actually, I want to say that this is the only knife, the Sebenzas, that have the pattern actually on the lock itself. Usually, even with the fancy Chris Reeve knives that we'll get to, he usually leaves that lock alone in just plain titanium. Here, he still has it. This is the Umnumzum, but when it's a Wilson Tactical collaboration, it's called the StarTAC. Not the Sebenza, because it's not a Sebenza. It's the StarTAC. It's the Wilson Tactical StarTAC with Chris Reeve. All the other dimensions are just like any other Umnumzum. And of course, the Umnumzum is interesting because it has its own pattern, the plain Jane one. But this trades its crisscross pattern for the Wilson Tactical brand of that Starburst. Hey, we got through the first one. Let's see if we can keep going. Yes. If you guys watch this channel, you'd know this is one of my favorite exclusive from the great guys from knifeart.com. It is the carbon fiber Chris Reeve. This is the Chris Reeve Sebenza 25 carbon fiber. You can only get it from knifeart.com new. It is a exclusive. This is number 71. I was lucky enough to get a numbered one. The first 100 produced had a number, and I got number 71, which is great. Of course, everything else is the same. S35VN steel. And the lock side remains all tie, but the show side is a wonderful carbon fiber. It lightens that knife up so much. It is the best Sebenza to carry, those carbon fibers, because it's so light. Here is the large Sebenza 21 with that in single blade. Had to get it. Whoops. Ooh, don't break it now. Had to get that in single blade, the razor, Zulu name for razor, in single. Here's the small Sebenza 21. Had to get two of them. First, I had to get the small Sebenza 21 carbon fiber knifeart.com exclusive with just that wonderful satin blade. And then it was so special, I had to get one with Damascus. And so I got that raindrop Damascus blade. One day, after I get all my other knives that I'm dying to buy, I'll go and clean up more Damascus blades from Chris Reeve. I'll even start hunting down some of the more classic ones, the older knives. But right now, I'm just happy with what I have. Talk about carbon fiber. Now, this is a different exclusive. This exclusive comes from Blade HQ. This is the Chris Reeve family of the carbon fiber inlays. 3 inlays. And look at that lock side. Keeps it plain. When you get wood or carbon fiber inlays, Chris Reeve has a shiny titanium scales and usually leaves that lock side and the clip raw, which I really love. This is the Blade HQ exclusive. You can only get it new from them. And this is the Sebenza 25 carbon fiber inlay. We're at 19 minutes. I think we'll just get through these inlays, carbon fiber, and call it part 1. This is the large Sebenza 21 carbon fiber inlay. You can see I'm in love with this. I'm really in love with how he kept that blank. I know that's a small thing, but I love the smooth and the rough together. That's manly. That's manly. Of course, S35VN steel, 3.6 inch blade. And this is the last one we're going to cover for today. We're going to stop right here. This right here is the small Sebenza 21 carbon fiber inlay, and this has that wonderful Damascus Blade. Ah, you gotta love that. And that's it, folks. We're at about 20 minutes. That's part one. We will pick up with the other inlaid Sebenzas that I have, and then we'll walk it all the way through to the end. I think we'll probably get this in 4 tries. Hey, you guys, thanks again. Please pat yourselves on the back. Don't forget to thumb this video up. Let's just go crazy with the thumbing up of going through this Pelican case, because, man, we deserve it. We reached our first goal. The next goal is 1,000. I'm going to go through every single Sebenza that I have. That's 2 case, not Sebenza, Spyderco that I have. That's a large 1,600 Pelican case and another 1,550, not counting the ones we'll go through in this case. We're talking about 350, 380, 400 knives. And that's when we reach 1,000. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And please thumb this up. Tell me that this is what you like. Thanks, you guys. We're posting this one. Part 2 is coming up next. Don't forget to have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.